Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. How's everyone doing? Welcome to the webinar. Today is November 24th. I'm going to give it a few minutes until everybody gets in. Thank you for being here live. All right. So today we have a very interesting topic. We want to be talking about the easiest trading strategy for 2026. Now, I want your permission and also your acceptance on what we're about to do going forward. Okay, so while everybody comes in, going forward for the remaining month of December and the upcoming webinars that we do until the end of this year to the beginning of the next year, you're gonna see me a little bit more rough with you guys. Okay, the tough love, if you want to call it that way. Are you guys okay with that? Because I think it's time we need to move the needle a little bit. Enough time wasting in 2025. It's time we crank it up a notch. Okay, we need to get shit done. Enough taking your time, enough kumbaya, enough cuddles and hugs and it's okay and wiping the tears. We gotta get shit done. Okay, so I'm gonna have a little bit more tough love for you guys going forward in these webinars because I want you to come back within weeks, not years, but within weeks to tell me that made the difference. That was exactly what I had needed. Some won't be able to take this information as well as others will. This is why I'm trying to tell you right now, I will be angry, I will be strict with you guys, and I will give you the tough love. If that is something you are not accustomed to or you cannot handle, I suggest you leave the webinar now. Okay? So I want you to get ready for what we're about to discuss today. Although it's easy, it does require you to focus and do things well. Focus and do things well. So before we get started, where is everyone tuning in from? Let's hear that. Okay, a lot of you guys are saying, yes, let's do it. Military style, yeah, baby. Okay, good. All right, so we'll do this. Arun is saying need this type of teaching. Okay, yeah, I appreciate it. No pain, no gain, right? It is not to demotivate you. It's quite the contrary. Love and cuddles and hugs. What has it gotten you so far? Okay, we need to turn the page. Come on, we got to turn the page. Okay, you can't keep doing this over and over again and wasting time. 2025 is coming to an end. What do you have to show for it, right? So sometimes, a foot up the butt, is all that's required to say, time to move, time to get better. Enough is enough. Okay, so people tuning in from Canada, Johannesburg, Mexico, Athens, Ghana, Tanzania, Bolivia, China, Manipur, Idaho, Johannesburg, Kanpur, India, Pakistan, Bangalore, Japan, Pakistan, Trinidad, the States, Malaysia, Borneo. Okay, good. UK, Sydney, France, Jamaica, Australia. Okay, great. Thank you for tuning in. We've got approximately 55 minutes together here. I want to take it from the top all the way down to, what can you do to make things work for you as quickly as possible, as easy as possible. So we're going to take it from the top, okay? All right, so in this webinar, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be speaking to you directly. I'm going to be giving you the motivation that you may need to make sure to make the changes that are required for you to make the leap from 2025 to 2026 to make sure you do not waste yet another year doing nothing. And those of you guys who are doing something but are not seeing progress, this webinar is going to be ideal for you. So watch closely, take notes, put away all the distractions. You're here. It's a free webinar. Respect your bloody time. Turn off the notifications. Turn off your cell phones. Focus. Take notes. Ask questions. Let's get into this deeper. Let's solve these things for you. For whatever might be meandering around in your head, let's get this done for you once and for all. Because as I get these emails coming in from each of you guys saying, hey, Naveen, what's the best time frame? I will slap you. I will slap you if I get another email like that. Okay, so I want to get down to the nitty gritty and saying, what is trading? What do you need to know? How can you learn it quickly? And how can we jump right in to say, all right, come 2026, you're ready, you're ready, you're ready. Okay, so here we go. Let's take it from the top. Let's take it from the top. Okay, I'm going to bring you to the charts and I'm going to draw a few things that I want to know you know and understand, and we'll take it from there. Okay, here we go. All right, sharing my screen. Okay, is my screen visible? Yeah? Okay. Perfect. I'm gonna draw a smiley face. Just let me know you guys can see it. Yeah? All right. Okay, good. Okay, so let's take it from the top. What is trading? Let's start with the absolute basics, you nutcases. What is trading, instead of trying to click buy and sell constantly and saying, I'm a trader? What is trading? Do you even know the definition or the history of trading? Okay, you need to understand this. What is trading? So let's start from there. Trading is a mechanism of one person saying, bruh, I got this thing in my hand. Do you want it? And this guy says, how much? Okay, that's trading. If you think trading is a chart in front of a computer and you click a few buttons to buy a Ferrari, you are very far away from trading, my friend. You are in a dream world, in fluff, only to make Instagram videos, to make no use of your life. Wake up. All right. So what is trading? It is this constant interaction from player A to player B. What we are doing is we are saying, I will help you facilitate. So what a trader is nothing but an agent in between. It's an agent in between. So back in the day, I'm going to keep two sides, okay? There's side A and then there's side B, okay? There was no way for side A to communicate with side B. There was this huge land of water, a huge body of water in between. No telephone lines, no internet, no lazy TikTok, none of that shit that's out there today. Nothing, okay? There's a guy on land A that says, I wish I had coconuts, buddy. I wish I had coconuts. My land has no coconuts, okay? And land B has got so much coconuts. This guy is the coconut king, okay? He's got more coconuts coming out of his ass. So much coconuts, he's just living life full of coconuts. Now, in this process, there is a merchant in between on his boat. That merchant in between is singing his song, strolling away, reaches island A and says, what's up, dude? What do you need? And he says, I wish I had coconuts. Really? I just came from island B. The coconuts on island B are $1. How much you gonna give me? The guy says, if you bring it for me, I'll give you $3 a coconut. How many do you need? I need 40,000 coconuts. I wanna give it to my entire island. Cha-ching! Wait right here, people of land A. I'll be right back. This fella is you. That's a trader. Now, if you go to Euro USD and you say, I'm gonna buy because a trend line has been broken or a Fibonacci's dingling has been touched, what are you doing? Think about it. Just take a moment and think. All this time that you're studying and studying and studying, did you ever take a moment to take a step back and be like, what the hell am I doing? Today, we take a step back and be like, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing? Wake up. What are you doing? A trader's job is to facilitate that transaction from A to B. You're like a broker, a mini broker on your own, trying to facilitate. So to begin with, to do your job well, you need to know where is the demand. Who can I help? Who needs what? You don't say, I go to land C because I'm going to be a C trader. What the hell does that even mean? When I hear people say, I only trade pound yen because I am an pound yen expert, what the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? What are you going to do with trading something if there's nobody there telling you I need something? What are you facilitating? Nothing. Nothing. Let's get it through your head. If you're going to do your job well, you want to get paid, you don't break a trend line, you don't Fibonacci your way to life. You look for what is required. You look for what is required. Once you understand somebody needs something, then you find out the source. Who can get it? What is the requirement size? What is the offer on the other side? How much will they give it to me? And how much size do they have? If the size is less, maybe I can get more money. If the size is a lot, let's say they have 50,000, I might not make a lot of money. You got to understand this dynamic. That's what a trader does. Your job as a trader is to understand that dynamic and saying, how can I help? How can I help? For once in your life, stop being selfish and thinking about yourself and think about what can you do as a service to offer others so you can get bloody paid for once. Okay? So stop constantly thinking about me, my Ferrari, my helicopter, my luxury vacation. Calm down. Calm down. Study. Learn. Open your eyes. Okay? Let's take it step by step. All right. Here we go. Okay. So step one, figure out the demand. Okay? If you know your job as a trader is to facilitate party A to party B and vice versa. To facilitate, you got to find out, does someone need anything, how much, and how badly? You have to be very good at this part first before you can get into how do I enter? How do I enter? How do I sign the papers? How do I make sure he gives me my commission? How much is my commission? Stop. Stop. He's not going to pay you if you don't help him. You must help him so he pays you. Okay? He's not going to pay you because you broke a trend line, you nitwit. Okay, now let's start again. Now, once you figure out the demand, right? Step two. How do I get access to it? How do I get some? Okay? You're a trader looking at this from a distance and saying, how can I get some to participate in this demand? How can I get some to participate in this demand? I'm going to give you a little story, okay? I'm going to give you a little story. I'm going to explain to you what used to go on back in the day. This demand is no longer existent, so don't go out there trying to make this demand, okay? It's no longer existent, but it used to be there back in the day, and I'm going to explain it to you so you have an idea of this concept. Back in the day, okay, this is like, I don't know, 10 years ago. I remember walking around Hong Kong, outside these shops, massive amounts of iPhones out there. Massive, like sheer volume of iPhones just laying on the sidewalk in front of these vendors, if you want to call it. Massive amounts of iPhones. So now what's happening? There was a supply issue from Apple. They tried to control their supply, or they had less supply. Whatever the issue was, they weren't shipping to the entire world at the same time, but the demand from the world had said, what? iPhone 6? I want an iPhone 6. I want an iPhone 6. Suddenly everybody in the world wants an iPhone 6, but it's releasing in a few countries worldwide. Hong Kong being one of them, where the phone is unlocked, it has a low price, no sales tax. So what people were doing, they would send people to buy them in bulk from the Apple store. Okay, normal vendors like you and me trying to get paid, we would go in, buy this thing, and then ship it out to Jamaica, Nigeria, Malaysia, all these countries where they didn't have an Apple store, and say, I bought it for 900. I know that, but I'm selling it for $1,500, $2,000. That's what they were doing. So people were doing this trading business. From that trading business, there is one player in between who was the distributor, which he would do the buying in bulk, right? He would do the buying in bulk, and he would try to make $5 per piece on it instead of $500 per piece. And then he would go and talk to all of his little guys saying, you want 20 pieces? I got you. 12 pieces? I got you. 13 pieces? I got you. My markup, $5. Only $5. This was the trader's job. And then from that moment onward, that store who bought only 12 pieces would then further sell it for more expensive. If I plot this on a chart, if you plot this on a chart, prices starting at this price, it has been purchased at a certain price. It lifts for $5 a piece, and then it goes to sell for more. Why? Why does the price go up to sell for more? Not because you want it to. It's because there's demand for it. Try selling an iPhone 3 right now. No one's going to even pick up the phone to call you. No one's going to even say, I want that, baby. You trade in items that are in demand, you can make some money. So you don't show up and say, I am a Euro USD trader. I will slap you. Like, you need to understand what is your role in this market. Does that make sense? Get your role identified and say, okay, so if trading requires me to understand my job is to fulfill an order, that's not so difficult. I understand this. I do this in real life. I go to store A, and store A says, I am selling this product for $20. Then I go to store B, and store B says, I'm selling it for $10. Why would I buy it for store A? Store B has it for $10. But store B says one thing, I don't have it in stock. The next stock is coming in 2 years. Okay, I'll buy it from store A. You see what just happened? Store A is not stupid. They know there's a shortage in the market. They can raise the prices. Now, if I go there and they say, yes, but I'm not going to give it to you. What's the best price you can give me above 20? What the hell? I'll give you 21. And then you come in and you go to the store and you say, I'll give you 30. Give it to me. And then the next guy comes in and says, I'll give you 50. Give it to me. And then a crypto millionaire comes in and says, I'll give you 500. Give it to me, baby. So what just happened? Prices is rising, but nobody has it. Nobody has it until someone says yes to a crazy price. Until then, nobody has it. So a chart moving upwards is a sign of unfulfilled orders. I'm going to repeat that again. Unfulfilled orders. Yes? It's not, oh, the buyer is buying it. And the chart goes down, oh, seller is selling it. No. Again, movement aggressively, unfulfilled orders. Click, click, yes? Are you getting me right now? Take notes. Take notes. Stop fooling around. Stop dicking around. You've done it all throughout 2025. Get down, get to work. Okay? Take out your notebook, take notes, use your iPad or whatever you do these days. Write it down. Write it down. Okay? All right. Okay, here we go. Moving a little deeper. Here we go. Moving a little deeper. Once you identify unfulfilled orders, let me go back to the screen. Okay, let me go back to the screen. All right, it's you and me. We're in this together right now. Okay, I'm going to make sure you understand because you've been wanting to understand for a long time and you've been wasting time. We're going to get this done right today. There we go. Here we go. You and me, buddy. We got this. Here we go. Okay, back to the charts. Okay, so you understand now the demand and you understand what does a demand look like on a chart. On a chart, a demand looks like everyone's happy, jolly, everything's great, woohoo! And then suddenly prices rise. They're rising because a demand has come in, and how it rises tells you how quickly did the price go from whatever this price was to whatever that price was. So not just an uptrend, but how fast, how long did it take to get there? That tells you, and how much of a price difference. And when you see that price difference, I want you to think about, is that normal? So if Coca-Cola is $1 and then the price has shot up aggressively, the price shot up to $1.02, are you going to burn down the city? Thinking, oh my God, this is an outrage. Inflation is out of control. Down with the government. No, you're not going to give a crap. It's $1.02. So a little movement above the norm does nothing. That is not high demand. But if $1 becomes $40, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a shortage in the market. Prices are going insane. And what you now know is, wow, there are insane people out there. There are people out there willing to pay $40 for this thing. You remember your Labubus? People were willing to pay upwards of $100 for that thing. How much does it cost? $10? You've been there. You've lived through it. Even if you're a millennial, Gen Z, or whatever, you've all lived through that. It just happened. Okay? So don't tell me you don't understand demand. It's there in front of your eyes. You've seen it. This happens. Not too long ago, before that, some of you guys may not know or might be too young, fidget spinners was like that. Okay? Same bubble, same craziness. And for those of you guys who are more sophisticated, suit and tie, more sophisticated, what is your AI industry any different? Look at your AI valuations for those of you guys who come from a financial background. Tell me you can justify the AI valuations. You can't. You just got to ride the herd like everybody else, otherwise you're going to be left behind, right? That's what causes the prices to keep rising upwards. Okay, so far so good. All right. Those of you guys who are watching, let me know in the chat you understand. But you that I'm talking to, I want you to nod your head if you understood. I don't want you to type. I don't want you to waste your time doing anything. You are looking at me and I'm looking at you. We're going to get this done together. No wasting time. Okay? There we go. Moving forward. So you got your demand down. You understand that when the movement goes, it better go for a certain distance for me to say, me like. Okay? Me like. When it moves a certain distance, you like. Now, the next question is we ask, how do I get in? How do I participate in this? How can I make money on this too? Because you and I, we see there are some cray-crays, okay? There are some cray-cray people out there willing to pay whatever this price is. What is this product? I don't know. But whatever this product is, Euro USD, Aussie USD, Labubus, a meme coin, whatever this is, people are absolutely nuts for it. Okay, let me see if I can get my hands on this. So, first things first, shall I buy it at this price? No, because that's not a deal, right? How do you know it's going to go up further? We don't know yet. So buying it there doesn't make sense. Hence the language that you hear, you chase, you die. Yeah, anyone can repeat a sentence. Now you know what it means. Now you know what it means. You know there's a demand there. What are you doing up there? Get a good deal. Get a deal. Go talk to the seller and say, hey man, can we work something out? As prices come down, because someone said, okay, bloody hell, I'll pay that price, but I don't want any more. The prices begin to drop. Remember, that crypto guy saying, I'll give you $500, who he wanted to pay $500 for it. And all of us were like, dude, I'll give you 20, I'll give you 50, 60, not 500. So as the prices come down, meander down, people like us start saying, this I can afford. I'd like to buy this. But what we are watching for carefully is how it comes down, tells me how the crazy people are still looking at this. Are they aggressive? Are they sensitive? So prices are coming down and you're saying, good. It's coming down for 50% discount. It's coming down for 40% discount. It's coming down for 70% discount, 80% discount. Whatever percentage discount is coming in, you're starting to get excited. You're saying, I can probably make some money off of this shit, right? I can make some money off of this thing. You feel a sense of hope into this thing. Now, imagine this is a fidget spinner at 80% discount. Will you be able to sell it today? You don't want dirty demand. It won't work. If you have an 80% discount on a Labubu, can you sell it for $100 again? There's too much supply in the market. You're not going to get away with it. Damn. Okay. So what do? You got to make sure the demand is hot. The demand better be hot, which means you must do this work with all your soul, might, energy. Forget this part. All of you guys, forget all of you guys. You focus constantly on how do I get in? How do I get in? When the base work is here, you do this right, chances are you'll be right. You do this part wrong, everything else is a waste of time, right? So you study everything on how to drive a car so perfectly, but you forgot to put the key in the ignition. What's the point on learning how to do donuts in a car and to do spins on a car and scratch your wheels if you don't even put the key in the damn ignition? Step by step, step by step. Step one, do your demand properly. Okay, do your demand properly. Okay, learn that thing. Okay, learn that thing. You don't know how to do that thing, go to urbanforex.com. I'll teach you. Learn your demand. I'm trying to get you to buckle down and understand why you must do certain things in a certain way, and then you can do whatever stupid strategies you want to slap onto it. You do it at that point. But get your solid foundation of what are you doing right? How do I trade? Get that done right. What does it mean to trade? Get that done right. Okay, so as you get a pullback coming in, now the question then becomes is, will these cray-crays or crazy people come back? Are they still losing their minds over this? The only way to do that is use your mind and try to understand that in the beginning, when someone says, I want 20,000 pieces, but the store says, oh, buddy, I only have 500. This makes the price go up, right? If this is one person, the price might not go up. But imagine this is 100 people. All together, they want 20,000 pieces, but there's only 500 available. What are they going to do? They're going to fight. They're going to fight. What happens when there was no toilet paper in COVID is bloody toilet paper, but people fight. When there's a shortage, that's how people are. They become cray-cray, right? The market is no different. The market is humans. It's humans. You got to understand. So people will fight for toilet paper, right? Simple things like that. Like they're going to fight for it. When they fight for it, they offer higher prices. Okay, they offer higher prices because they feel that is the only way they can get it. So they offer higher prices. But as the supply starts to come in, prices start to drop, but the demand might still be lingering around, right? Let's say a next shipment comes in of toilet paper and COVID isn't over yet. People are still going to be like, I got to get that toilet paper, man. I got to get it. How much am I going to buy? I ain't buying one. I'm going to buy 40, 400. I don't know how long COVID is going to last. And I don't know if I'm going to get toilet paper. I'm going to buy the whole damn store. I'm backing up my truck. Get out of the way. Right? People are like that, right? The market is no different. The market is no different. As prices come down, you want to observe prices are reducing, and then whoop. What is that? What just happened? Why did the price go from discount to suddenly not even going up to the previous price? This is what we refer to as the guy who started it in Mastering Price Action 2.0 at Urban Forex. But it goes beyond that recent high and it goes through it to the other side. Why? They're back. The crazies are back. They might have filled that 500, but they still got that bloody 15,000 available still yet to buy. That demand is still there. This is a sign of them trying to buy. You're trying to get filled in this vicinity. Now, every trader's wet dream is, okay, so I'm going to get it right there, and I'm going to put my stop loss right there, and I'm going to make this trade go right there. Then I'm going to press the screenshot button, and then I'm going to post it on Instagram, and then I'm going to be famous, and I will be loved and liked and cherished because that's what I require from my life. You don't want to be that guy or girl. You don't require to be liked. You want to do it right. You're not in a fashion show. You want to do it right. You want to understand if your stop loss is here or here or here, does the story change? It doesn't. It doesn't. So to train to put a stop loss that is so far up your asshole, what difference does it make? Why do you need the stop loss literally hugging you as you go to the toilet? Like, why do you need a stop loss that close? What are you trying to prove? That you know how to predict the markets? Why? What does that do for you? Get rid of that. 2025, you leave that shit behind. You leave that nonsense behind. You're not in a fashion show. You're here to take care of yourself, your family, your surroundings, your friends. It's your responsibility. Leave that nonsense behind. You know you can do this, and you know it's useless to do it. Get rid of it. 2025, you get rid of this thing, okay? You want to get rid of that thing. You don't want to be a show-off. You want to understand, am I doing it right? What did I miss? How can I do it better? You'll learn faster. You'll be able to cut through the nonsense quickly. Okay, so far so good? Good? Everybody in the chat, good? You? Good? Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. As you're monitoring this price right here, what I'm looking for is if I think there is a store, imagine there's people like us buying. Normal Joe Schmo buying. Why are they buying? Because they have a need for it. Okay? So remember, like I said, people were buying that toilet paper in COVID times, right? They were buying it because they need it. What if you and I, we live far away, we don't have a need for it, but we see the demand and we're like, there's a business opportunity there. What if I can get my hands on some of these toilet papers and then I can resell it later to the crazy people, right? They're willing to pay. What do you think happens when a brand new PlayStation comes out? What do you think happens when a brand new Nike Jordans come out and there's low limited stock? What do you think happens when a brand new movie comes out and it's the first screening? What do you think happens to a stadium when a new Knicks or whoever is playing, your favorite sports team is playing, and there's a guy outside saying, hey man, you want some tickets? Yeah, I couldn't get any tickets online. Yeah, so it's online for $100, but I'm selling it for $300. You want it? Take it or leave it. And you're going to have people who say yes to that. You're going to have people who say yes to that. Now, obviously buying tickets outside a stadium, that's illegal. This is legal. Okay? Here, it's legal. Okay? You get what I'm saying? Okay. So all that's happening is this. How do you think the guy outside the stadium got his tickets? He stood in line. Someone stood in line. Someone bought the tickets on time for a good price. and he knows he can sell it to you at a higher price. So in exchange for convenience, you give him that additional money, and that to him is his profit. He is a trader. He made money in that transaction. Does he care for the tickets? He's not going to the game. So when you buy Euro USD and you start looking at the economy, the fundamentals, and saying, what is going to happen with the chairman of the Federal Commission and this and that, you don't care for the Euro USD. What are you doing researching all of that stuff? You're a trader. So keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. There's no need to complicate it. Make sense? Okay, so one of these things that we talk about in the Mastering Price Action 2.0 as well is when it comes to fundamentals, I can teach you a little bit on what to be aware of, but to keep it simple, when the news is released, action happens. You're interested in the action, not what is the action. You're not interested in that. You're interested in the action itself. Right? Okay. Now, let's bring this to the charts a little bit. Let's bring this to the charts. We have now gotten into 38 minutes into the webinar. Let me do a live test. Are you still alive? Are you upset with my language and broken down into tears? Or are you feeling, fuck, I've been doing this for so long and I never actually put my time to sit down and be like, well, what am I doing? Do I understand what I'm doing? Or did I get, unfortunately, did I get pulled into just following some instructions that some Joe Schmo gave me through a book or YouTube or Instagram Live, and I thought that's what trading was? You got to be honest with yourself and get it out. Get it out. Trading, just look up the vocabulary. Look up that word. It's not a chart. It is the interaction between A and B to facilitate that transaction to happen, and that's why you get paid. That's trading. Like trading cards, right? People used to trade cards in school and Pokemon cards these days. They do trading. How do you know, should I trade this with that? Well, what is the value of your card versus my card? Okay, I need one of yours and I'll give you 3 of mine. You see what I mean? Okay, so I want you to know that as much as I'm trying to give you tough love right up until the stage right now, it is to make sure that you don't break down, but you somehow go through these words and you get it right, you do it well, and you start to figure out that now I get what industry I'm in. I understand the game that's being played. It was in front of my eyes. I didn't really actually have to learn much because I do this in real life. I just wanted to bring what I do in real life onto a chart. That translation got lost and I started learning indicators and patterns and this and that. And I forgot what it means to be a trader when we're all naturally traders because we do it in real life. We don't go to a store and the store says, this product is $100 and we say, you know what, I will give you $200. We don't do that. So we never chase and say, oh, I'll pay you this price. We don't do that in real life. Why would we do it on a chart? It doesn't make sense, right? But we say, I knew it's $100 and today it's become $200. Are you crazy? I'm not paying $200. And then when you see that price come down, it's 140, 130. And you remember, it used to be 100 and it went up to 200. You have that memory. It's in your head when you said, no way I'm buying that. And then 130 jumps up to 150. And you're like, I don't think we're ever going to get that 100 ever again. Those days are over. I'm going to have to accept these things are expensive these days. $10 t-shirts are a thing of the past. Now they cost $20, $50, $200, $500, right? So this is the stage of acceptance. But that's just a psychological word. What's actually happening in the market is someone big, overall collective organization, all of you guys have decided 130 is where you're going to target it. 130 is good enough for me. And when that goes up a little bit, like, in a pullback, when it goes up a little bit like that, they're buying it, but not a lot. When it goes down, so what we do every time it goes down in a pullback, we say, this is the guy who started it. Put a circle right there. This is the guy who started it. Put a circle right there. If the guy who started it makes a new low, watch the move back to it. Did they buy it? No. Did they buy it? No. What's up with the discount? Why isn't the discount coming in? Whoa, why isn't the discount coming in? Why isn't the discount coming in? Why isn't the discount coming in? Oh my goodness, the crazies are back. The crazies are back. I don't want you to activate any trade during this period. I want you to observe during that period. You need this crazy to be re-crazy. They got to be cray-cray. Yeah? You need them to give you that sort of identification. And then from that moment onwards, you can say, whatever I do beyond this point is going to be somewhat justified. There is a methodology to what you need to do after that point, obviously. But at least this puts you on the right path to say, am I translating what I learned here? So what this basically is, this is the price at the Apple Store. They're selling the phones for $1,000. This is the price the distributor is getting as it's rising upwards at $1,005. And then this is the price retailers are selling it for, which means these shops, they're selling it for $2,000. And then every now and then there's an oversupply from all the suppliers and they're calling you and saying, hey, I got it. I'm selling it for $1,500. The distributor's calling you. The other guy's saying, hey, I'll give it to you for $1,400. Hey, I'll give it to you for $1,300. But at any one of these discounted prices, there's people in Jamaica, Nigeria, Malaysia, Indonesia, all these places where there might not have been an Apple Store back then. They're saying, I'll pay you $2,000. I'll pay you $2,100. Come on, I need it right now. I need it right now. There comes to a point where that store owner has to make a call, say, screw it, the demand's really high. I'll take it. I can make money from here. But if they can't make money, they'll try to squeeze the price lower. But they want to do it also in time to make sure they fulfill the demand. Otherwise, the customer is going to go to the next guy. Okay? So this is going to give you this movement of someone's buying, someone's selling, someone's buying, someone's selling. As long as the trend is downwards, that means a discount is still coming in. A discount is still coming in. And then you will see when the discounts stop coming in and the crazies are back, you don't need to offer the discount anymore. And now you can name your price and saying, I'm going to charge you $1,900. And that's how you can get away with prices going back up. Does that make sense? Okay, does that make sense? Okay, Techstar, you're saying, Naveen, how to check if it's not a liquidity sweep? Okay, then the next question is going to be how to check if it's not a fair value gap. Next question is going to be how to check it's not a OTC or LGBT. I don't know what kind of words you guys use for that stuff. Look, all I'm going to say, check the starting of the YouTube channel that I have, 2009. 2009. Must I say more? Okay, so when you take it, all these new fluffs that are out there, new types of information that is out there, it's the education that's causing you trauma It's holding you back. It's like, yeah, but this is how you do donuts. This is how you do donuts in a car. Put the key in the damn ignition, my friend. Turn it on. We'll talk about donuts later. We'll talk about donuts later. Does that make sense? When you jump from A to Z, you're never going to make it. You got to go A to B. Okay? You got to go A to B. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, let's move forward. Let's move forward. Now, all right, remember, you and me, we got this. We got this. You can do this. Okay. Take a look at this movement here. This is the 1 hour chart, Aussie USD. Okay. I have 3 MAs here for your reference, right? I got one here for 200. There's one here for 50. There's one here for 20. What are these moving averages? Why those numbers? It was fun. Why not? Okay. Can you accept that answer? Or is your head going to explode? I just chose it randomly. Why not? Okay. What this means is 200 candles in the back. Tell me the average of that. 50 candles. Tell me the average of that. 20 candles. Tell me the average of that from the last 20 candles. Now, I got eyeballs. I can just look. But because even my eyeballs want to be lazy, fine, I'll use the moving averages. So do I really need them? No. Do they help? Yeah. It saves me a millisecond. Okay. That's why they're there. And that's why those numbers, if you choose 201, that's okay. Calm down. If you choose 205, that's okay. It's okay. All right? Don't worry. Life is okay. You know, don't panic. All right. You have to be not afraid of doing things a little bit in your style. It's okay. But you got to understand, what is it? Once you understand what it is, you choose your number. What does it matter? Enjoy. You know? Okay. Now, overall downward flow. Right? Overall downward flow. Things are moving. Things are moving. People are buying, and the store says, not enough people buying, give a discount. Discount coming in, discount coming in, discount buyers, discount buyers, discount buyers, discount coming in. Okay. Now, it looks like, hey man, looks like the discount's coming in hot. We should keep selling, right? That means if we sell also, we can make some money, but I want to know, how do I avoid not selling there? So I'm going to now go into a little bit of strategy. We've got 10 minutes. I'm going to give you a little bit of a strategy. Okay. So you're going to follow the strategy using the logic for the last 50 minutes that I gave you. If I see any comment on this video saying the real stuff is in the last 10 minutes, you failed. Okay. You failed. Because whatever you learn now in the last 10 minutes, if you let go of the logic in the previous 50 minutes of this webinar, it won't work. So quit with just the technical patterns. Quit. 2025, you leave that shit behind. Okay, here we go. Once you have a downward flow, one of the things you want to do is, if price starts coming down, you want the buyers to come up in the first swing. Okay, so let's say prices are going down, 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 down. Or if it's easier, I'll talk about it in an uptrend. Prices are rising. Prices are rising. I want you to think of, if I want to buy, I need somebody to sell it to me. You want to buy a PlayStation? It's not going to show up at your house. You need someone to bloody sell it to you. Simple? Yeah. Common sense, right? Do it on the chart as well. Don't just say, yeah, of course. Do it on the chart the same way. If you want to buy, you don't buy there. You need someone to sell it to you. Let the seller come in. Okay? As the seller starts coming in, monitor how much does he come in. If he comes in a little bit, ignore it. What I mean by that, if he comes in like this, I don't think that's a seller. Okay, I don't think that's a seller. Just stay with me. I'll explain why. As it comes in a little bit more, we call them the chasers. Which means, I think the uptrend is done. I think it's going to go down. They don't sell here, they sell here. Good, let them sell there. No problem. I want some buyers to come in, slow down, and go deeper. What's going to happen is those who thought it was a sell and they said, no, I am smart money. I am intelligent money. My mommy gave me good milk to drink when I was a kid. I know how to think for myself. I will not sell here, my friend. I will sell here because I was patient enough. More money goes into this sell after the pullback. More money goes into that sell. But you understand the demand now. You're like, sell all you want, suckers. I can see the demand. I know why it's going that way. I can feel the energy. And it's not just on this product. It's on all the similar products. Aussie USD, Aussie CAD, Aussie Yen, Aussie New Zealand, Aussie Swiss. It's everywhere. Once you figure that out and you're like, I don't think people do even that ounce of research. Then you say, all right, I know where it's headed. Let them sell. You want to trap that sell. You want to trap that sell. If they sell more, let them sell more. But how do you want to trap them? You want to get the crazies back. Once the crazies are back and you got them trapped behind you, okay? Which means their money is stuck. Who is it stuck with? When they sold, all the buyers, they came in and they gulped up the orders because they know they need it for their livelihood. They're not waiting to play this game of trend lines and stuff. They took it. End of story. But to hit it, there was 500 people selling, 1,000 people hit it very aggressively, and that's what caused this thing. Some people paid these crazy prices up here. You let it calm down and you say, but I am the intelligent one. I am the one who had the proper milk from my mother growing up. I am the one who has the IQ of Einstein. And as this thing slowly starts to turn, your opportunity increases more and more and more. Leaving these guys behind you in the dust because that order needs to get transferred to the buyers. That order must be transferred to the buyers. There's a whole science behind why that happens, how it happens, market manipulations, brokerages, vendors. I'm not going to get into all that stuff today. Right now, your job is to understand, did everything that brown guy screaming at me today, looking straight at my eyes, did it make sense? Again, figure out the demand, get an offer, make sure the offer, leave the first piece. We call this the leg one. Okay, all this is in Mastering Price Action 2.0. And then those of you guys who jumped up to the next program, the Iconic Trader, all of this is there. Okay? You don't want to trade the first leg. But once the second leg starts coming in, you know people are pumping the sells, thinking it can't go up forever. It's over. Apocalypse. Doomsday. Da 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 da. Fine. Sell it. Right? How do you think Warren Buffett got rich? Everybody keeps selling their great assets thinking it's over, it's over, it's over. So when it's over and they sell it for dirt cheap prices, that's when you pick it up and you say, I know these guys are crazy enough to pay these prices. I've seen them do that in the past. I can perhaps sell it to them here. I don't have to take it all the way to the top. I can sell it to them along the way. Now, from that moment, if you start doing that a little bit, then you can bring in your KPI nonsense of, yeah, but what is my risk to reward? Yeah, but what is my money management? Yes, but I was told in the books, 1%, 2%, this thing. Yeah, but my psychology. Yes, but this book said. Yes, but this uncle said. this auntie said. You can do all that nonsense after. Learn to trade first. Then you bring in your analytics mode to make yourself feel good. You bring the analytics after. You don't analytics before you don't even know how to trade. You bring the analytics after your trading has begun. Yes? All right. Listen, you did really good. If you made it this far, I'm really proud of you. It's not easy taking in heat like that, going through everything that I've told you so far, but it's necessary. It's a must. 2025 has been wasted if there's nothing to show for it. You're here in this webinar because you're looking to learn something, right? So do it right, understand it, find out where all the holes are, what's missing. Are you looking just for another strategy, trying to find out what trend line can I connect? What MA do I need? Maybe my settings of my MACD are incorrect. Maybe my Fibonacci, I'm using the wrong number. I gotta use 68.225 instead of 68.2. Like, you want to get away from all that precise secret of life and go into what is trading? What is trading? Right? You're not going to go to a store and that says, excuse me, sir, this t-shirt that you're looking to buy is $100. And you're going to say, according to Fibonacci, if the discount comes to 38.6%, then I will buy it. So I will wait from the price that is $100 to become 70 something dollars, point something cents. Only then I will buy. Because Fibonacci. Don't do that. You see how silly that sounds? Don't do that. Yes, Fibonacci is a global thing. Yes, it can work in many places. You're trading. You're trading. To plot a chart, yeah, use Fibonacci. To plot diagrams, use Fibonacci. But are you here to plot diagrams and to get paid on a diagram? I've never seen anyone get paid like that. I mean, architects, but there's a purpose for them doing that, to build a building, right? So be careful in the type of information you're trying to learn. Make sure you learn the right thing. And sometimes it might not be your fault. You're trying to learn the right thing, but you don't know where to look. And that's okay. Sometimes we got to dig through the shit to find what we need to look for. Same goes for our mind, right? Sometimes we got to go through some shit to fix stuff. So, congratulations for going through this entire 1 hour with me, taking notes, trying to pay attention, trying to understand. And get out there. Fucking dominate the rest of 2025. Put your nose down. Do your work. Stop Instagramming and trying to dream all day long. Just get it done. It's not so difficult. And you start 2026 with a motherfucking bang. You hear me? 2026. You got this. You got this. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Bye for now.